Hey guys, in this section 1210, we're working with different types of formulas. This is the last section from Unit 12. And so what we do, we've got a word problem here that we need to set up. So let's just read through it. It says the volume of a rectangular prism is 1800. The length and width of the base are 15 and 10. Find the height. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to write in the correct formula, which is volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, so we'll need to refer back to all of our formulas from this unit. So it'll be V is equal to BH. All right. So that is our formula for volume of a prism. Now from here, we'll go in and plug in the parts that they've given us, and then we'll solve for the missing piece. Okay, so now it says the volume is 1800. Now typically, we calculate all this out to get the volume, but here they've already given me the volume. It's 1800. So that goes in for V. All right, and they've given me the length. Okay, they've given me the length and the width of the base, 15 and 10. Now remember, B stands for the area of the base. And how do you find the area of a rectangle? You multiply the length times the width. So if I multiply these two together, that will be the B. So that's 150. And they're asking me for the height, so that is still missing. So what I've done here is I've taken the formula, I've plugged in the parts that they've given me from the problem. And from here, if I wanted to find the height, I would just solve for h, which means all I need to do here is divide both sides by 150. And when you do, you'll find that the height is equal to 12. Now, as a double check, you can go back in and plug 12 in for the height, and then 5 and 10 to get the area of the base, and multiply it out and see if it gives you 1800, which it does in this case. That's a way to double check. Okay, what about the next one though? It says the volume of a cylinder is 720 pi. The height is 5. Find the radius. So again, the problem will always tell you what formula to start with. We start with the formula for volume of a cylinder, which is going to be V equals pi r squared h. Okay, so you may need to pull up some of the notes from the previous sections and have those handy to look at so that you can readily look at and have access to the formulas that you need. Alright, so let's plug in the parts they give me. Volume is 720 pi, so I'll plug that in just like it is. 720 pi equals to pi. They give me the height is 5. Okay, so the r is still missing, so that's times r squared, and the height is 5. Okay, so the radius is what they're asking me for here. Okay, so first step, when I go through to multiply this together, I can kind of clean it up a little bit on the first step and make it look like this. 720 pi is equal to 5 pi r squared. All right. Then from here, if I wanted to solve for the r, the next step would be to divide both sides by 5 pi. Okay, so now when that happens, let's see what we've got. So on this side, the pi's disappear, and 720 divided by 5 is 144. So that'd be 144 equals, and on this side, the 5 pi cancels, and that's going to leave me with r squared. So now if I want to get from r squared to r, square root of both sides, and then my r is going to be equal to 12, and then there's your answer. Okay, so all of these types of problems are just starting with the correct formula, plugging in the parts they give you, and solving for the part they're asking for. Okay, in this one it says the volume of a cylinder is 360 pi. The height is 10. Find the radius. Alright, so volume of a cylinder is the formula we need to start with, and it is the one we used in the last problem. So V is equal to pi r squared h. Okay, so the volume is 360 pi, so that'll go for V. Okay, pi. It says now the height is 10. Find the radius, and so once again, my r is missing, and the height here is 10. Alright, so rewrite it as 10 pi r squared. Now we can divide by 10 pi. Alright, once that happens, then the pi's cancel here. 360 divided by 10 is 36. 10 pi cancels here, r squared. And if r squared equals to 36, I need to take the square root of both sides, and then that will allow me to figure out that r is 6. R is 6. So once again, start with the correct formula, plug in the parts that they give you, solve for the missing piece. All right? What about one like this? The surface area of a cylinder is 130 pi. The radius is 5. Find the height. So what formula are we starting with? Surface area of a cylinder is the formula we need. So the surface area of a cylinder is equal to 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. Alright, so it's telling me that the surface area is 130 pi, so I can plug that in for S. 130 pi. We got 2 pi. Now the radius is 5, so in place of r, I'm going to put a 5. The height is what's missing, so that will just stay as an h. Plus 2 pi times 5 squared. Alright, so that is 130 pi is equal to 10 pi h, if I multiply the 2 and the 10, plus 5 squared, 25 times 2, 50. That would be 50 pi. Alright, so in this case, what I can do is I can just put the regular pi's together and subtract those. So that would be 130 pi minus 50 pi. Remember, if it's plus on this side, it's minus on the other side. And that's equal to 10 pi h, because remember, I'm trying to isolate my h. Right? So I'll move this 50 term over the other side. And since these are both pi's, I can put them together. What's 130 pi minus 50 pi's? Well, you'd be left with 80 pi. Equals to 10 pi h. And so now we're ready to divide. 10 pi here, 10 pi here. So that leaves me with h equals, which is what we're looking for, the height. And pi cancels. 80 divided by 10. My height is 8. All right. Okay, so one more we need to take a look at here. It says the surface area of a cylinder is 990 pi. The radius is 5. Find the height. Okay, so again, surface area of a cylinder is the formula that we want. Same one. S equals to 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. All right, so the surface area is 990 pi. So we'll go ahead and put that in for S. The radius they gave me is 15. The height is missing. And we have another radius here, which is 15. Alright. So from here, go ahead and write back 990 pi. 2 times 15, that's going to make 30 pi h plus, now 15 squared is 225 times 2 is 450. So that's 450 pi. So once again, I'm trying to isolate the h, so I'll move this term, the 450, to the other side. When I do, it becomes 990 minus 450 pi, and is equal to 30 pi h. I can subtract these two. 990 pi minus 450 pi is 540 pi. And now, for our last step, we can divide both sides by 30 pi. That'll make it cancel here, leave me with h equals. Pi's cancel there. 540 divided by 30 gives me a height of 18. All right. So again, pick the right formula from the problem. It'll tell you what formula to get. Plug the right parts in the right place, and then you solve for the missing piece, and then you'll have it. That's it.